Now let's dive deep into this big LGBTQ plus story for today. I'm Angel Martinez, and let's queer up historic 2025 Pride Month. Here are the companies who relieved Pride Month collections despite Trump's anti-DEI. For years, Queer News Tonight would do countless stories on rainbow capitalism leading into the June Pride Month. Often it was a silly joke made by us, but in 2025, we might look back to those good old days. As June begins, so does Pride Month. And while corporate support has become dramatically less predictable over DEI rejection, several major brands are stepping up with 2025 Pride collections. Let's focus on some of that rainbow capitalism. Levi's leads with its Meet You in the Park campaign, celebrating safe spaces for queer folks, with designs inspired by the LGBTQ+ liberation iconography. Converse continues its annual tradition with the 11th Proud to Be collection, honoring those prouder than ever to be themselves. Apple joins with its new 2025 Pride collection featuring the Pride Edition sports band. Puma, unflinching in its DEI support, released a bold new line to celebrate Pride worldwide. Skullcandy's All Love collection leans into Wild West flair, with Hollister's 13-piece gender-neutral collection shouts inclusivity in color and style. Abercrombie & Fitch brings 15 gender-inclusive pieces plus a 6-item kids capsule. And JanSports puts the focus on queer youth mental health with affirming designs. Despite its wider DEI rollback, Target has released a 2025 Pride merch collection. Even simple messaging can be important. For example, the NFL's Carolina Partners is promoting an LGBTQ+ message of football is for everyone. Corporate support may be uncertain this year, but for now, Pride still's got merch and message. Yeah, no, I mean, it's good to see the other side, right? Where some companies, are looking to roll back DEI protections and roll out support for our communities. It's good to see, the opposite effect. So my roommate actually works, at the Marlins, and, they had their, the Miami Marlins had their, at Lone Depot Park, they had their Pride Month, right? Pride Night, right? So they had the celebration, and the kids were wearing the Pride merchandise, and it's super cute. It's nice to see the other side, right, where companies do support us and they do value us, and it's nice to be seen and to feel supported, and I mean it's just great, that's the nicer side, when corporations actually do their part.
Yeah, massive gratitude to Levi's, Converse, Apple, Puma, JanSport, and the rest who have stood by us. Now let's go shopping.
All I have to say is my tag is @ChefJosie. If you want to send me any of the Converse, Skull Candy, give a little shout out to JanSport, support those LGBT kids and the mental health, and guys, but I really do want those Converse. So if you are following me on social media, please @ChefJosie.
We're constantly talking about not being supported, right? And corporates pulling out of their sponsorship, right? But I mean, here's the twist: some brands are actually still showing up, right? And honestly, it's gotta still matter to us, So Levi said, "Meet you in the park," right? Not just a campaign, but a celebration of safe spaces for us. And Converse is still proud to be for the 11th year. Puma, they're pushing Pride worldwide, unapologetically. And Apple, Skull Candy, JanSport, they're all reminding us that style can still serve a message, Even Target, I'm still hurt from Target from last year, right? I mean, all that controversy where they had all their Pride merchandise in the front, and then they got all the stupid right-wing crazy people saying we were trying to put Pride on infants, and all this kind of shit. And then we got moved to the back of the store, right? That hurt me, And now they've come out with another Pride collection this year, maybe that's as much as they can give us right now. You know what I mean? And in essence, they're still kind of showing up. And I know we should not just be okay with crumbs. We deserve the whole freaking plate. We do. But we've also got to look at the positives sometimes,
But what about this? Because you and I have been on this show many times where this conversation was, front and center, right? one of the things that I remember from those previous conversations is the fact that like we would be like, they're not doing enough.
Yep.
They're not doing enough.
Yep.
But they're not doing enough. And if there's anything that I've learned in these like many years of life is gratitude is the first thing. And I kept saying like, first off, let's be grateful that the companies are even like jumping on board, whether their motive is just to get on board or money, whatever their motivation is that we got their money and it made our events really awesome, right?
Yeah.
So now we're like, oh, there's my, thank God, we're all like,
it's messed up, No. Hey, I will sit here at this Queer News table today, June 2nd, and say Josie was right. Josie was right, because we would sit here at this table and I would be pissed off. Oh, now you want to give us your money. Screw you. You're rainbow capitalism. You're just using me for this and that. And Josie would be like, but they're showing up. Man, no, Josie, no. He's right. We were bitching about it, and we're in a different world. We're in a different space right now, Josie. Trump runs the world now, and that scares me shitless, you know? So I've got to look at it in a positive in some way. I have to, or I'm going to go nuts.
That scares the companies too, obviously. He's proven that power that he's got. But yes, but thank you for doing what you can for us.
Yeah, and like you said in the past, silence also, right? A lot of these companies are not saying shit.
No.
That's also how they're not supporting us, you know?
Being complicit.
So a story like this reminds us to go buy some JanSport, to go buy a Converse, or send it to Josie. You got her information.
Let's go shopping.
All right. Well, that is the big LGBTQ story for today. There is no other queer nonprofit media platform like this in the entire world. Support our LGBTQ stories by subscribing and sharing Queer News Tonight.